Howdy folks, and welcome back to Dark Souls 3. We are here with Cass, the filthy casual, and he's here to show you how to get through this game as painlessly as possible. So, let's move on to the High Wall of Lothric. Hit that first bonfire. Now, we're not going to go this way yet. We'll come back around to this. First, we'll head this way. You're going to want to sprint all the way through here, ignore that guy chasing us, and kill him. He will swing that lantern around and scream and wake up every undead with a weapon in the area. And if you think that sounds bad, you're right. Because you will probably die if that happens. Though he gave us his trousers, which was kind of him. Alright. We're gonna head up. Up the secret stairs. And there's another lantern boy over here. Sprint up on him and give him hell. There's two weapon boys over here. You're gonna want to make sure they go down. Ooh, and we got some fire bombs. Very nice. We'll need those. Get your shield up as you come around this corner. So there's an angry boy. Then there's this angry boy. And we have our binoculars. Not super useful, but they're there. I showed them to you. They just... Ooh, wow, look. Their stuff. Right here, we have gold pine resin. Resins are fun. They imbue your weapon with an element. Gold pine resin is arguably the strongest. It adds 95 AR to your weapon for 90 seconds in the form of lightning damage. So basically we rub pine sap on our sword and it gets all sparky. Step up here. Take down Shieldman. Kill the archer. We're not going that way yet. We're gonna walk up here. Oh look, a dragon! Run! Let him breathe fire on everybody up there. Then we're gonna walk down here just a little bit. And he'll breathe fire on everybody right here. As soon as it's done, run. You don't have to be right up on it to make it through. Now, take a sec here. We're gonna run like a bitch. This is a Lothric Knight. He's not fun. You don't want to fight him right this very second if you don't want to have to run through all that again. So, whoop, and run away. Through here, upstairs. Dagger boy came after us. Put him down, and light the bonfire. Now when we go down to die to the Lothric Knight, we'll respawn here instead of all the way back at the beginning. Grab a Titanite shard. Sit your butt down for a minute. And now, that Lothric Knight has the weapon we're going to get. I highly recommend grinding it from him here, because if we use our limited resources very, very well, we can get one weapon up to +4 out of +10 before we fight the boss of this area. So, the weapon we're going for is the Lothric Knight Sword, which is one of the, if not the best straight sword in the game. The only other contender is the Dark Sword, But I honestly have to give it to the Lothric Night Sword just because of how versatile it is with infusions. You can change it over to work with almost every build. But, dodgies. He's a rude man. Kick that shield open, stab him in the tummy, and then just wail on him. And we got an ember. That's okay. We don't want that. You could get this on the first try. It could take 2 hours. I did it for 2 hours in testing, never got one. I turned it on this morning and started playing through with a warrior just for shits and giggles, and I got a drop from him the first time I went through. Drops are just RNG. The RNG gods will love you or hate you. When you're fighting him, keep your shield up. You always want to circle around towards his shield, because it's easier to get around behind him that way. If he puts a shield up and you manage to get a kick, cool. Sometimes he'll be a rude asshole, and he'll kill your face. We got a Titanite shard. That's okay. We need a few of those to drop anyway. There aren't quite enough to pick up to get up to +3. Now, if it takes a little while, I'm not going to leave all this on camera. But I do recommend doing this anyway, even if you're not after the Lothric Night Sword. His AI is the smartest enemy you're going to fight for a little while. It's good to learn to dodge. It's good to learn to parry. It'll get you used to fighting straight swords, which, if you're playing online, will be a lot of PvP boys. See? If I hadn't dodged that third time, I would have been able to get around behind him for a backstab. There we go. Got the backstab. It's a bit tedious. It really is. But you need to learn how to fight these guys in particular. They come back in a later area of the game, stronger than ever. And you really, really don't want to be unprepared for that. Got the armor. I apologize if there's any squealing over this. My children are having a war on the couch across the room. Make sure you don't swing so much, get so overzealous that you run out of stamina right up on top of him. that's a quick way to die. Because if he decides to be a real asshole, he's got a 5-hit combo. You always want to wait for him to get out that door before you go kill this guy. Now, I'm probably going to cut everything from here on out, up to until I get the sword. So, I will be back when I've got the sword. Okay, we're back. We got the sword to drop. It requires 11 strength and 18 dex. So, if that took you anywhere near as long as it did me, you should have plenty of souls to go ahead and go back and put 2 more points into dex. But just in case it didn't, we're going to move on and we'll go back and level up after the next bonfire. Walk out here, take your time. Get some fire bombs. We can wait on this guy, or you can be impatient. Step back a little bit, because you step forward when you throw a fire bomb. Nah, he's close enough. Plunge him! Come over here and get this guy. Ooh, we got a dagger. Dagger is an interesting thing. Let's take a look right here. This 130 critical, that's an insane modifier when it comes to backstabs and riposts. So, you'll see a lot of hardcore PvPers that'll just keep a dagger on their second slot, just in case they manage to get a parry in. Then they'll quick swap and just murder your face with it. Getting riposted with a dagger is... it's just a trip into bad news land. This guy is also from bad news land. Lock on. Abyss beasts don't like fire bombs. It stuns them, so that they don't psycho flail at you. But there are 2 of them here. Both of them drop a Titanite shard and an ember. Oh, there's a little buddy. That is a crystal lizard. You'll run into them periodically. They run away and then disappear, and then they drop nice, yummy goodies. Now, I don't imagine you've got nearly as much Estus as I do by this point. So, what we're going to do is we're going to just sneak in here. He's a rude boy. There's a bandit hollow around this corner. And there's a Titanite shard. Hello, you. You're an asshole. You were supposed to fall off. Now, there's a great shield Lothric Knight that patrols out there. You don't want to get caught up in him just yet. I can handle him, but you don't want this to happen to you. But just in case it does, smash all these so you can move around. He's easier to get around behind of than the regular Lothric Knight, and he keeps his shield up a little more. So, backstab. Wait a sec. Charge R2. And then whale him into submission. And down he goes. It's not too bad. This asshole doesn't make things easier. And that spear and great shield combo can be a problem. If you can get 2 kicks on his great shield, you'll knock it aside. Don't forget this guy. I always forget that guy. And here we have a broadsword. It's like the longsword, but broader. It's a little bigger. It's a little stronger. It's got mostly the same moveset, except whereas with the longsword you have a thrust, this R2 is a big, wide sweep. Personally, I prefer the thrust. It's nice to be able to thrust in hallways and to have big, wide sweeps when you're out in the open areas. Heal up before we go in here. Wait patiently here. Line those boxes up right at your balls. And whiff the throw. My bad. With 2 throws. Let's just go ahead and whiff all of our throws, shall we? Let's see if I can actually manage this, or if this is going to be a problem. Oh, cool. I managed it, but no one was nearby it. So, grab out those throwing knives. Pecker. You do not want to try to fight everything in here all at once. Halberd guy has great big sweeps. He's very readable. He's not too bad to fight. We're going to come around here. And look! A bandit. And there's a firebomb asshole. Now this is kind of special. It's not really going to matter for us, but if you decided to start as a warrior instead of a knight, to get that extra point at the end game, which is fine if you want to do that, that's your first 100% physical shield. I picked up a Lothric Knight shield while I was farming, and that's one of the best medium shields in the game, but it requires 18 strength. So, before we get to the end of this area, we are going to get our strength and our dex both up to 18. Also, if you want to get a really good strength weapon, these boys drop the Great Axe. You're not going to be able to use it yet because it requires a buck ton of strength, I believe it's more than 30. There's another Estus shard. I believe there is a dogger down here. This is important for here in a little bit. That's going to help us get our other merchant. He's in jail for some reason. He must have done bad things. Let's see. That's right. 7 Titanite shards. If Big Dude looks intimidating, don't worry. He is. We don't necessarily have to go down this way. We can sneak past him. I don't recommend fighting him. I didn't even start fighting him until my second playthrough. He's not fun to fight right now. But there's one more item we can get. We're going to come up here and roll through the secret passage. 2 more items. My bad. We have some green blossoms here. And we have the Astora Straight Sword. If you went with a Herald at the start, that's not a bad sword to use. It requires 12 faith. We don't have that. I believe it's a twinkling weapon. It's a decent straight sword for right up at the beginning of the game. Now we'll just head back through all this. Grab some black fire bombs. They're basically just more powerful fire bombs. There's nothing more special about them other than the fact that they do more damage. Get them wide swings. More fire bombs. And down we go. This guy wakes up. This guy climbs up over. Now, I'm going to show you how to fight him. I don't recommend that you do it. Doing a great job teaching. He's very easy to get around behind and backstab. If you see him whoosh back like that, get as much distance as possible, because spin to win's hurt. I am not doing well, but that's okay. Woo! I died right off the freaking end of it. I did horribly. I whooped on him like 3 times just earlier today. But that's alright. We'll get back to him. We needed to come back here anyway. Y'all remember that cell key we picked up earlier? We're gonna use that here. There is a halberd bro down here. Boop. Down he goes. He will drop that halberd if you want a poleaxe to use. They're interesting weapons. I used a halberd for a while in Dark Souls 1. I don't really care for them so much anymore. But the whole point of the quality build is to find the weapon that suits you. The reason we're going with a longsword and shield is because the longsword suits everyone. It is a perfect starting place. There's a mail breaker. That's just a little pokey dagger. You know what? Why don't I show off the Uchikatana for a bit?
Ah. You're no jailer, are you? No, you're from far away. And judging by the bell, you must be some of that unkindled ash. Remarkable. If that's true, then I have a favor to ask. Below the high wall is a musty little town. Not the home of any lord, just a very old settlement of undead. An old woman, Loretta, lives there. Please, give her this ring. I'm not asking for charity. In fact, if you do this for me, I'll be sure to repay you in kind. I may be a petty thief, but I've more wits than most royalty. What do you say then, huh?
We're gonna say yes to Grey Rat.
I am Grey Rat of the undead settlement, and I promise to assist you. Give this ring to old Loretta at the base of the high wall. Do your part, and I'll do mine.
He's awesome, bro. You're gonna like him. Now, get back on track. Now, we can't come down here our first time through because we don't have the cell key yet. So we did have to come back here at some point or another anyway. Knock him off. Whoop on him. Now, the Abyss Beast is back, but he does not drop more Titanite shards. So, run like a little bitch. We already took care of everything that way. Asshole. Alright, there's our souls. We'll wait for him to walk around a little bit, that way we can grab them safely. What's up, big fella? Ooh, what? You're rude. Okay, one time I can excuse. That was just embarrassing. I even had 4 Estus left. But I think that drives home my point of, you shouldn't fight him yet. This is what I mean about getting ganged up on. Everyone is so rude. You know what? No. I'm gonna whoop him with the Uchigatana. If I don't make a supreme idiot of myself first. That feels better. Okay. Now that that's handled, you saw there were 2 embers around the fountain. We come down here. There's a boyo and a rapier, if you would like a pokey sword. Rapier. There you are. It's all sha, 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 sha. Also, do not do what I'm doing and run around the high wall with 10,000 souls. It's just a bad idea. I'm not too fussed about it, because I've done this more than a few times. But don't do it. Alright. Now down here is Funland. There is a Lothric Knight. There is a Great Shield Knight. There is a Lothric Knight. And over there in the corner there is a Royal Guard Lothric Knight, which is basically a Lothric Knight, but stronger. And you are going to farm this area before we move on. Now, watch out for the gangbang here. They're unhappy with their relationships. I don't think we can help them with that. Boop, what's that? Some throwing knives. We'll go out this door. There's a Great Shield Bro right to our left. So. Put him in the dirt. Ooh, not quite. He had like 1 hit point left. Take on the doggies. Come back up here. And look where we are. This is the first area. Now, we're going to go this way. Night-night. Run up on him. Take down the archer quickly and shift over to your fire bombs. And just hucks him as fast as you can. Titanite shard, an ember, and a longbow. We're going to need that to get our other large Titanite shard. Now, we have 8 Titanite shards, 1 large Titanite shard. If you don't have enough souls to get both your strength and your dex up to 18, I recommend going back to that Lothric Knight and practicing against him a little more. Because that is a fantastic first challenge for new players. I still get killed by Lothric Knights occasionally. Pro speedrunners still get killed by Lothric Knights occasionally. Now, strength, dex. That's all we need for now.
Farewell, Ashen's maiden.
So, now we can equip our Lothric Knight Sword. It's going to be a little bit weaker for now, but it's got far more range. The scaling on it is just phenomenal. And it gets a +4 Lothric Knight Sword will beat out a +4 Longsword any day of the week. Now, the reason for the 18 strength was this guy right here. From 48 stability to 54, that means we lose less stamina when our shield takes a hit. And look at all these defenses. Everything is above 50. Lightning is 87. This lightning is 34. It's just a straight upgrade. We're gonna come back here and talk to Andre.
That is good, wasn't he?
We're gonna reinforce our Lothric Knight Sword. Now, we need 4 more Titanite shards.
Pretty big, I go that.
You can farm them. It is absolutely not necessary. We don't need to buy anything else, so whatever you have left, go ahead and start pumping your vigor now. We're going to get that up to 15. Then we're going to get our endurance up to 15.
Farewell, Ashen One.
We're going to go back to the high wall, because that's where our shortcut is. Nah, there are plenty of Lothric Knights to fight on the way down for me to show off a +2 weapon. Not this way. This way. Whoop on that boy. Oh, you're rude. Fall down here. Get the plunging attack on this boy. And this is where you want to come if you decide you want to farm up a great axe. Just run back up around. There's one more dog to kill on the way back. Hit the bonfire and come back. A total non-issue. He's a rude man. Come down here, and grab out that gold pine resin. Archer. Swordsman. And we're going to use our first ember. Because occasionally you will find NPC summons. There are 2 NPCs for this first boss. I'm going to pull them both up and show them to you. Now there's one other thing we're going to farm. We're going to get that great shield from him. If you want, it is a total non-issue, to summon Albert and have him help you clear these guys out. As long as you don't die, he will help you just whoop on them. Come on, Albert. He's dead. Relax. But the NPC summons are only here until after you beat that boss. Now, normally, I would run in, I would sneak in, and try to get a backstab on this guy. I don't think Albert's going to let that happen. Nope, there he goes. But, while he's got Albert's attention, you do not want to get hit by his strong attacks. And while he's buffing his weapon, it's a great opportunity to just beat him up. He drops 1,200 souls and a refined gem, which we're just going to hang on to until we get near 40 strength, 40 dex. We are going to infuse this thing, but not with refined yet. Come over here. Jesus, Albert. Albert's not the only one we can take into play. You can take 2 phantoms with you into every battle. Generally. Recognize this guy? Yeah. Now he's gonna help us whoop on this boss. Bosses do get slightly more health, and they do more damage for every extra summon you bring along. We are going to bring along every summon that I think is a good one to use, just to show them off. But honestly, for Vort, you don't need any summons at all. If you do want to use one, take Swordmaster over Albert. Oh, he's an angry puppy. We'll buff. Our bros will come in from behind. He's not bad. Just watch him. When he gets to half health, he'll do this deal. Just dodge it. Or don't. However, make sure you're behind him before he does this. And then you can basically just spam him the rest of the way to death. And there's bedtime for Vord. And now our bros are leaving. Light that bonfire. And then I recommend doing this while everything over here is dead. So do not rest at the bonfire. Because we gotta come back up here. Otherwise, we can't leave. We have one more thing to do here before we leave the high wall. I saved it for last because it's a little bit tedious.
To their journey homes, converging ahead to the bottom of Forge On through the... This it is if you then and the...
Okay, that's all we need. Now, you can murder her right now to summon the Dancer of the Boreal Valley to get up there and get into the endgame areas. Don't do it. That is... Let me see. Osiris, Champion Gunder, Lorien and Lothric. And then technically you could do the Forgotten King before you come here, so that is the 5th boss away from the end. Don't do it. There are people that do it. I will make the effort one of these days. That will not be today. For now, go back to the tower on the wall. I apologize. I lied to you. Now that we have Grey Rat, we need to go back to Firelink Shrine. Because Grey Rat has come to visit us. Say hello to our pointy-hatted bastard.
You're back. I'm in one piece. What I've just thought of.
We buy things. Now, what we're after are standard arrows. We can hold 99 of them.
Goodbye, are they?
Now, I don't think we'll use them all up, but just in case, come up here to the Handmaiden, and we can buy wood arrows. Go ahead and buy 99 of them.
Ashen one.
And there we go. Down here, put on that longbow. Right hand or left, whichever you want. Now we go back to the tower on the wall. I saved it for the end, because it requires souls to buy the arrows, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. It's a little tedious, but that's okay. Kill him. Our Lothric Knight has moved on. And as ever, he's being a rude asshole. Okay, now that that's handled, come stand right here. Equip your bow. Two-hand it. Hold L1. R1 fires one arrow. L1 fires a different arrow. Kill the dragon. Doesn't take too long. It's just a bit tedious. As you can see, the wing takes extra damage. You don't have to get his health all the way down. He'll run away when you get him down to, like, his last quarter. And there we go. He runs away. And we got a large Titanite shard for our efforts. Now that he's gone. We are almost through the area. We head up here. and clear this out. There's some weapons up here. And there's a claymore. If you decide great swords are your cup of tea. This is a good one to start with. Big ol' swings. Nice thrust. It's basically just a jumbo longsword. Yes. We come in here. And this is the last thing we have to do in the high wall. Pop your other resin, because this is a mimic. Charge that R2. Don't ever get hit by that. And down he goes. We got a deep battle axe, which is also a pretty decent weapon for the start. It is enchanted with darkness. Deep is dark, but no scaling. So, it does a straight 192. It seems like it's going to be stronger than our Lothric Knight Sword, and it might be by just a tick. But when you're dealing with split damage weapons, the damage gets reduced by both of the enemy's defenses. So, the physical damage has to go through the physical defense, and then the dark damage has to go through the dark defense, completely separately. We'll head down here. And we'll leave the High Wall of Lothric. Come out here. Raise that banner. And then they're going to eat us. This has been Dark Souls 3. Okay, welcome to the Undead Settlement. We'll hit this bonfire. Go back and spend our souls real quick.
Welcome, speak. Very then take.
Got our vigor up to 15. Next we're going to get our endurance up to 15. And then we'll go back to working on strength and dex for a little while. Probably get them up to about 24 each before we go back to the other stats. Head back to the foot on the high wall. And that's it for this one. Next time, we'll take on the Undead Settlement. Thanks for watching. I hope this has been helpful, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.